Hello, everyone. If there's anyone there, give me a little hello in the chat. Sean, what is up, King? I love that you are here every live stream. I am honored. Marvin Francisco, hello. Welcome to Here Now live stream. Always here for the message. Yes. All right. What we're going to do before we get started with this live stream. Love these live streams. Yay! I'm glad you do. What we're going to do, all right, you two are the lucky ones. We are going to hop into a quick breath work meditation, get us going, get us synchronized, and ready to receive, ready to explore, to receive, to give, whatever our intentions are for this live. All right, we are creating a space of support, of enthusiasm, of laughter. We are creating a space of love, acceptance. This is what the space is for us to open up, to grow, to transform. All right, get in a comfortable position. And we're going to scan our bodies. Notice if there's any tension within the body and release it. Let's start with our toes. From our toes to our heels, to your knees, to your hips, to your chest, shoulders, to your elbows, your palms, fingertips. Scan your neck to your jaw, third eye, crown. Notice any tension within the body and release. Take a deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. We are now in sync. Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm so grateful to have you here. So grateful we can share this space. I felt like, because the new year is rolling in, this would be a great opportunity to discuss the power of intention and inspired action. And also overcoming blocks. I notice within myself, within any clients that I have, friends, just in the collective, right? Many times we don't follow through with our intentions due to certain blocks, due to our fears, due to doubts, uncertainty, confusion, due to living based on how we've seen the past. And then we're finding difficulty envisioning a new future for ourselves because all we remember and all we know is what happened in our past, those repeating patterns that happened in our past. I know today I was, and yesterday too, I was with a friend, and one of the one of our intentions for us getting together was creating plans, writing a wish list, having a strategy for how we would like to structure our path, right? And what came up was my own shadow started to come up. What I saw was all my fears and all my doubts. They just started to come up. And I started to feel like I needed to cry. I had to release. And we had a long conversation and just speaking about how, the difference between inspired action and action we feel like we need to do because we have to do it, right? Inspired action involves there's a release, there's a surrender, an allowance, and we flow. One foot in front of the other. We're putting one foot in front of the other. We're going with the flow. We're feeling what we are inclined to do, right? Spirit moving through us, consciousness working through us, right? So when it comes to overcoming blocks, the most important, and this is, you all will hear this so many times, the most important is one, becoming aware of the blocks. And when I say becoming aware, it's not just this like, oh, I know it's there. Oh, yeah, I always have this problem. It's literally giving it your fullest awareness. We procrastinate, right? We procrastinate on these ideas we have in our mind, trying to materialize it. We procrastinate because we're trying to avoid uncomfortable feelings. Because each and every time we even think about doing what it is we said we do, that fear, that doubt, that uncertainty and confusion, they come up. And we're like, I don't know what to do with this. It's a rush of emotion. It is a rush of emotion. And often the easier thing to do is procrastinate. Save it for later. Oh, I could do it another day. I could do it another. I'll do it in an hour. An hour comes. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I know that that's how my process tends to be. But when you're aware enough, right? Whenever you are aware enough, you've already stepped into the present moment. And this is how we go on and we begin to discuss what it looks like to plan and be present, right? Because so many might ask, like, how can we plan for the future but still be in the present moment, right? This is what happens when we are using our mind as a tool, right? We're using it for our advantage and not the mind using us. And so what's happening is that when you're planning, you're considering what the future would be like, right? The future is simply an idea of what another present moment would be like, right? We don't always exactly know the future. We don't always know, what's going to happen, but we can create the idea in our mind as a means of knowing, our path, a plan, a strategy, right? If you don't feel like you need a strategy, all good, up to you, right? But having a plan and having a strategy, it creates a grounded sense of certainty, you know? And as you're going through that path, what you're doing is you're releasing and you're letting go. You're allowing what event that needs to unfold to unfold. You're allowing the challenges to arise, so that you are able to get through them. You're able to see yourself in another light so that you can begin to change the way you see yourself, right? Your identity. That's one thing that's constantly changing is the way we identify with ourselves. And through this path, through this path, what we end up doing, right, is coming back to your being. Ultimately, so much of what I share on this channel, right? Stepping back into your being, because your being is what always stays the same. Consciousness, awareness, it's always there. It's been the same consciousness, same awareness since we were 1, 3, 5, 9, 7. You get the point? A teenager, adult, wherever you are in life, that has always been the same. And if you are not 100% sure what I mean by this, it just means in this moment of stepping back and being in non-reactivity towards thoughts and emotions that arise. Non-reactivity towards what arises within your life experience. When you are in non-reactivity, very naturally you begin to observe the mind. You're an observation of the mind. And it's in that point where you recognize a deeper dimension of being, right? Not just the dimension of being where we're so used to every day, but we're stepping back into a much deeper dimension of being. Sean, wow, I really needed that moment of stillness. Yes, breath work, breath work. I'm going to bring more breath work to these lives. And also, I will be doing much more meditation in these lives. So we all come together and we know what it means to invite in space, right? Inviting in space. You see, when we invite in more and more space, there is not this compulsive thinking, right? Compulsive thinking, overthinking, constantly overthinking, doubting ourselves, fear from the past, right? The more stillness we invite in, the more space we invite in, it allows us to be here fully. And when we're here fully, fear does not exist. Blocks, they don't exist. What happens is that a block just becomes more of redirection where you're like, oh, you're just turning. It's kind of like if you're a character in a video game and you're the one in control of it and you just turn the character the other way. The character in the video game isn't going to complain, isn't going to question. The character just goes out the other way. That's all it does. It's no overthinking. None of that. And that's essentially what we do when there's a block and we choose to say, this is one thing I like, is saying, I am going to approach this experience as if I chose it myself, as if this is the exact challenge that I knew I needed for the evolution of my consciousness. Rise of the Jade, hello, how's it going? Welcome to Here Now live streams. Ronan Butchanin, welcome, namaste. Welcome to Here Now live streams. For anyone who just came in, we are discussing what it looks like and what it feels to overcome blocks so we can all experience what it feels like to, I'll say, what inspired action and inspired intention feels like. We're all stepping into this new year. In the comments, let me know when you think about a certain intention or a goal that you might have, what comes up? Are there blocks that come up, or do you feel a straight go? Are you activated? Are you ready? What's happening? What are you feeling? I gave a little example of what had happened with me. I recognize, right? I recognize my own, how I felt about stability. stability, having a foundation when it comes to growing. Often we might have this idea in our mind, in this mind, right? The thoughts that flow through. What they reinforce is this idea that, hey, if we build something, there's a potential that we might lose it. Yeah, we might receive something, but we might lose it. And then that altogether stops us from trying in the first place due to that fear. That's it within the root chakra, right? Foundation, stability, support, and safety. That's our root. It's our root. It's where we stay grounded in knowing and recognizing that we are co-creators. Don't forget, you are not separate. You see, when that idea comes up, this idea that if I build something, if I create something, I might lose it all. It might all fall, right? Don't forget, you are not alone. It might feel like it because we get so stuck in the ego. We get so stuck in the ego. And it's okay. The ego, neither good nor bad. Excuse me. Ego is just unconsciousness. When we're unaware, we're not aware. The more aware you become, ego dissolves, right? And what ends up happening with when the ego begins to dissolve is we'll find ourselves holding on just a little bit tighter to what we were attached to. This is why when we are transforming, it feels uncomfortable. It feels painful. It feels it's that is actually the definition of suffering, right? It doesn't matter good or bad, but as we are transforming, we do feel that pain. But the more and more aware we come, the when we invite in space, we invite in awareness, and we sit in observation of our thoughts and emotions. We allow ourselves to step into the ever changing nature of the world we live in. We may not recognize it, but change is constant, right? It's always happening. And transformation, we're always transforming in some way, somehow, whether it be we consider it big or small. And oftentimes, when it's time to truly let go of that aspect of ourselves that we need to let go of, so we can step into this new cycle, a fresh start, the ego will hold on tight. And during those moments, this is what I am suggesting to you. Invite in space. As much space as possible. Watch yourself. You might be having a breakdown. The thoughts may be crazy here and there, here and there. They don't stop. Stop for a second. Recognize that you are beyond that. Observe it. They are just thoughts. That's it. They're just ideas from the past. They're not truly you. They are not truly you, right? So in those moments, the more and more you can become aware during these moments, the easier it becomes, right? It's just like practice. We're taking care of our mind. We're taking care of it. We're nurturing our mind, right? We don't often, there's so many different ways that's shared, but taking care of your mind, in order to take care of something, you must observe it. You must know its patterns. It's just like a baby. We must observe the baby. What does the baby like to eat? What does the baby not like to eat? If you have a dog or a cat or a pet, what does your pet like to do, right? We have to observe it first in order to know what it needs. And that's the same thing we do for ourselves. And so, one of my intentions for the upcoming, for starting now, and it's even deeper, it's always my intention, but now it's even deeper. It's it's redefining how I take care of this mind right here by inviting in more presence, shifting the way I see myself, right? And continuously sharing this. You see, when you share whatever it is that you're learning, when you're continuously sharing it, even if it's something you're learning right here in this live stream or any of the videos that I've posted, share it. Share these ideas, because the more you speak it, the more you embody it, the more it becomes a part of your lifestyle. This is a lifestyle, right? This doesn't happen for a little bit and then we let go. It's your lifestyle. You're always inviting in space. Corey Blackwood, hello. Welcome to Here Now live stream number 4. It's good to see you again. Are you familiar with the Akashic Records or know much about it? So I am familiar with it, but I don't know that much about it. I know it is basically, how would I say it? An aspect or dimension of reality where everything that ever was, ever will be, that is, exists. So you can tap into the Akashic Records and step into a potential path of the future or the past, something like that, right? That's just as much as I know about it. But yeah, maybe I'll look into it a little bit more. But yeah, I remember hearing a bit about the Akashic Records. Corey Blackwood, is the pursuit of happiness really the pursuit of suffering? Mm. Is the pursuit of happiness really the pursuit of suffering? I think that it can turn into that if we continue to believe this idea that happiness lies in another future moment. Then we begin to suffer. So even in, right, the phrase pursuit of happiness, it means to pursue happiness, to search for it. So in this pursuit and in this journey, it will imply that happiness does not exist and happiness is not there, so we must search. And inevitably, we begin to suffer. This is why you might hear a lot of people say, like, you don't need to find yourself or you don't need to seek enlightenment, right? Because what that does is it puts you in this state of consciousness where everything you want lies outside of the now, right? Desire, want, all of it. That just means that this moment is getting in the way of what you want. You need to just get there, not realizing that this moment is everything. This moment is exactly what you need. And you know what? We often forget that. We do. And often it's because we're not fully in this moment. See, the more you step into this moment fully, the more you attend Here Now live streams so that you can expand your awareness and recognize what's the power of now, the power of this moment, what it truly does for us, for a state of being, for realizing who we are, recognizing our essence. The more and more you expand your awareness and open up, you'll recognize that there's no need to pursue happiness, right? Because it's here. just being here, experiencing this moment, right? I'm not sure if any of you have heard of the spiritual teacher Thich Nhat Hanh. He actually passed away a couple months ago. I love his teachings, and he said something along the lines of, the miracle is not to walk on water. The miracle is to walk on earth. Often our mind creates this idea of what enlightenment should be like, what happiness should be like. And in this pursuit of that, we ignore now. We ignore our ability to walk on earth in chasing this idea to walk on water. Only the mind can make up this idea of enlightenment through looking at what people, do and say. I'll say even the Tao, it talks about how any words that we use to describe consciousness, we're only pointing to it. It's not it. It's not it. We're only pointing to it. In order to truly become aware of that, we must sit in stillness and go beyond the mind. And so the more we do that, right, we're inviting in a sense of self awareness. We're inviting in inner peace. We are letting go of fears. We're releasing those fears. We're releasing those doubts, confusion, right? And I would say that this process is a majority of this process. 90% of this process is observing the mind, is non-reactivity towards thoughts and emotion. Like you say, hey, is it that easy? Is it that simple? I would say. Because often, easy, it's dependent on who we're talking to. I know that in certain moments too, it might be easier in certain moments than others, right? But all it takes is a little bit of awareness, a little bit of space for you to come back into being. And so if you're here right now, that means that you've already been inviting space. You've already been inviting presence. You are attracted to this message, the vibration of this message, because your spirit knows it needs to be said this. Your spirit knows that it must take this in order to evolve the state of your consciousness. Just us being here, we're already doing it. This live stream is called Here Now Live Stream. And my intention for all of you, right? My intention for all of you is to expand your awareness on what it means to be here now. Invite in consciousness as much as you can throughout the day, whether it's being fully aware of what you're doing. You're going in the car, you're pulling the handle, you're driving the steering wheel, you're looking out. The more and more you do all of that, you're inviting in space. There's less of this incessant thinking, right? And when I say this, it's like you don't control the thoughts that are water that are streaming into your mind. You don't control it. But when you invite in more space through simply just being a non-reactivity, what happens is less thinking begins to occur. There is less thinking. You don't need to worry about directly controlling that. All that's going to do is cause more overthinking, more mind, more ego, more mental activity, the complete opposite of what we're trying to do here. And it's so funny too, because the more when you recognize the mind being so stimulated, and then you make that choice to just be non-reactive to everything, that is surrender. And the more you do that, you'll notice yourself tapping into this state of surrender. You'll notice yourself going with the flow. You'll notice that you're not living by these worst case scenario ideas that come up in the mind. I know what that's like. Worst case scenario. Gosh, that plagues the mind. Because it's the mind's way of trying to, it's the mind is trying to protect us. It's trying to make sure that we survive. But when you become aware of it, you recognize that, hey, I don't need that anymore. I don't need to think of this worst case scenario idea. In fact, it's holding me back. In fact, I'm so attached to this expectation, to this future outcome, that I'm going nowhere. I'm just going in circles. Mind is filled with unnecessary ideas. We're giving energy to what does not need our energy at the moment, right? If you're enjoying these messages on Here Now live streams, feel free to donate to this channel. What you are doing is you are supporting me and this channel so that I can create more content, have this, cool recording studio here and build a team so that I can continue to put out more and more. I greatly appreciate you all and the support you have given this channel, the support you've given me. It's been such a beautiful process. The link, if you would like to donate, is in the description for PayPal as well. Crazy skill sets. Hello. How do I become aware of my anxiety? It's funny too. For me, when I ask myself that question, whenever it arises within me, it's actually as simple as what you said in your question. Becoming aware of anxiety is just when you are aware enough, you become aware. That is like the power of awareness. It's like the moment you step into a space of becoming aware, you become aware, right? And so here is my approach when it comes to improving your relationship with feelings of anxiety, right? Be sure you're giving as much awareness to moments when you feel calm, when you feel at ease, when you feel relaxed. Bring your fullest awareness to those moments. The more you do that, and if you don't have enough of those moments, invite it in. Schedule it in to your task list. Make sure that you are spending a good amount of the day in a state of relaxation. You can be in a state of relaxation wherever you go or what you do, right? Sometimes it'll take actually penciling in a specific time frame where you're inviting that in. So for me, I'll go out in nature and I'll hammock. I'll go for a walk in nature. Nature, being amongst the trees, the birds, and the animals, is the most grounded space you can be because it draws you out of your mind into your body, into your experience. This is why so many of us love nature and we resort to it because it's a mirror of our own essence. So, crazy skill sets. I would recommend to you that you give your fullest awareness in those moments of calm. So that becomes your baseline. That becomes what you know to be normal. And so that when those feelings of anxiety arise, you have already developed a skill set. You have already developed a skill set, a level of awareness to become aware of this very foreign feeling. It's just like a sports team. I like soccer, football, right? The real football, all right? I'm just saying. When you are practicing, right? Think about it. Any sport, if any of you all played a sport or anything you had to practice for, when you practice, you're playing in a space where you can make mistakes, where you can fumble the ball, you can lose the ball. It's very comfortable because what you're doing is you are refining your skill. You're getting better and better at it. So that when it's game time, you know exactly what to do. Subconscious is working. You're not even trying that hard. You're just having fun. You're moving your body, you're releasing, you're playing. And this is the same thing when it comes to these feelings that arise, right? In those feelings of calm, bring awareness so that when anxiety arises, you know what to do, to be there in the moment. Recognize it first. Oh my gosh, there goes the discomfort. There goes the discomfort. Be with it fully. When you agree with that discomfort, when you say it is, when you stop resisting and you say, here it is, if it's here, then this is the moment that I need. If it's here, it's the moment that I need. Now you're aligned. And now that you're aligned, there is no more resistance. And what you'll see is that you have become aware of this feeling of anxiety and it dissolves. Hope that helps. Crazy skill sets. Thank you. You're truly better than a lot of these therapists. We're all learning here, This is truly through so much of my own experience with these feelings. Where? Corey Blackwood. I've noticed we can be addicted to suffering because sometimes it's what we're used to. Yeah. Yep. What suffering does is it creates an identity. And so essentially, suffering feeds the ego, right? So the ego is the unobserved mind, right? The ego is this unconscious self. When you're in this ego state, you are unaware that you are not separate. The more and more ego we have, we tend to be defensive. We think there's competition. We worry, right? When we talk about the power of intention or manifestation, we forget that we're co-creators. So within the ego, it's the more ego, the more separate you might feel. And that's what happens when we're awakening. When we're awakening, the ego begins to dissolve and we recognize that we're more than this. And with the ego, what suffering does is it creates an identity of who we are. So we have a life situation and we say, hey, for example, we may not have grown up with both parents in the home, or we may have gone through a really tough breakup, a really tough divorce, right? Something that happens within our lives, within the life situation. And instead of using this pain and transforming it into a sense of wisdom, what happens is that pain gets transformed into suffering. And then we begin to identify with what has happened to us. We begin to identify with the pain that has been inflicted onto us. And so this is what causes a deeper suffering and more ego. It's because we're identifying with the suffering and it's giving us something to feel like, oh, we're unique, like we're different. you know and so yeah, and that's what suffering does, and that's why in many ways it can feel addicting. Overthinking can feel addicting, right? Like thoughts, those type of thoughts, they feel addicting because it's what we're used to, right? And it's because the ego is trying to feed off of it. And so the less and less, when it begins to dissolve, right, it does not mean that we are no longer ourselves in this reality. It means that we have tapped into a deeper dimension of consciousness to know that we are more than this identity, that we too are consciousness itself. So it's like the ripples in the ocean, the waves in the ocean, right? Each of us in the state, right? We will recognize that. Oh, look, I'm a ripple in the ocean, and there goes another ripple, and another ripple, and another ripple. Now, if there's too much ego, our ripple might be like, oh, I need to be a bigger ripple. I need to be a stronger ripple, right? But when the ego begins to dissolve, we begin to recognize, well, I'm not just a ripple. I am the present moment. I am the flow. I am life. And this is when we begin to be at ease. And this is when we can tap into that state of peace anytime, anywhere, right? It doesn't take away from the uniqueness of who we are as an individual, but we learn that we're not trapped. We learn that we're more, and we begin to play in this world of form, right? Notice how I say play. We're playing because we're not taking personal what others do. We're not taking ourselves too seriously. We're here, we're in the moment, we're releasing the expectations when need be. So yeah, this is why This is why it tends to be addicting. Ronan Butchanin. So much programming from society, even the English language has us trapped in our egos. Indeed. Language is language is everything. And it's very interesting because I'll even notice myself, I'll say, you know what? I'm gonna change the way I said this. And it's funny, I only speak a little bit of another I only speak like a little bit. I know Spanish just from learning it in school. Um, and even in learning a new language, you can recognize what words exist in other language that don't exist in the English language. Just like for example, I remember listening to Eckhart Tolle and he was speaking about German and that there's a phrase in German that has something to do with being, like to be, right? We don't really have words and phrases um, that bring awareness to being. That's kind of what I remember. But yeah, the English language, any language in general, honestly, can be limiting. And this is why it's so important that we continue to be non reactive towards thoughts and emotions so that we begin to learn another language, a language that's deeper than the language that we're used to, right? The language of consciousness, a deeper dimension of consciousness that words cannot translate. In DBT, Marvin Francisco, in DBT, they also ask you to rephrase it. Instead of saying my anxiety, I say I'm experiencing anxiety. Because the more you identify with the anxiety, the stronger and longer it goes on for. But the more you can notice what's going on in your thoughts as well as your body while it's happening. Yes, this taps into language, you know, saying feelings of anxiety or experiencing it. So what you're doing is you're separating it. You're recognizing as like, oh, this isn't me. This is a feeling, right? This is something that I am experiencing at the moment, but it is not me. Exactly. And so when you take out even when you say the word my anxiety, right? My means it my means not attachment but ownership. It's like I own this anxiety. This is my anxiety, right? So it's very important, even now I might catch myself saying my, but aware when I'm aware enough, feelings of anxiety, experiencing it. The more you do that, it's so natural. Really, it just takes a shift. No guilt, no shame. Just be like, oh, and shift. That's all you need. And you'll see your state of being, the way you think, the way you act, the way you feel, it transforms effortlessly. I'm telling you, this is how I feel. This is how I feel. 99% of transformation is observation. Because when you observe, immediately you begin to know, hey, this isn't me. This isn't me. And that 1% is just stepping into a new space. This is why every Here Now live stream, every single one, you will hear be an observation, non reactivity towards thoughts and emotions. Invite in more presence, invite in more space, more and more. Kyle Pusham, welcome to Here Now live stream. Have Sean, have you heard of the book called Momentum? I have not. I'm gonna look at it. The book Momentum. There's so many books I need to read. Momentum book. How you learn leverage and positivity. Is that it, or is it a shadow work guide journal? There's a couple. Let me know, Sean. Ravi and Sarana, a strong duo. Hello. Have you seen the movie Leap? Leap. Actually, I think I've heard of that movie. Is it a ballerina movie? No, that's Ballerina. Haha. Where can I watch Leap 2022? Is it a cartoon? I love cartoons. If it's a cartoon, I am so watching it. Hold on. Leap. Leap, the movie. There's a lot of it's a cartoon. I have not seen this. Um, if you're talking about the Disney Pixar, I haven't seen it, but I can see myself watching it because I love cartoons. 77 Vans X. First stream I caught, sending love to all. Welcome to Here Now live stream. Sending love right back to you. Thank you for bringing positivity into the space. Kyle, can I miss money? Can I manifest money in astral projection into the real world? I don't know, to be honest. I have not fully astral projected. I've only gotten to this point, right? I'll tell you what's happened to me with astral projection. I get to a point where your body becomes your body's in paralysis, so your body is not moving, and but you're aware, and then all of a sudden I begin to feel like I begin to hear the screeching sound. It's like screech. So essentially, what that means is like your body, your spirit, it's moving into another dimension, another frequency. So you begin to hear that screeching. And every time that happens, I freak out and I'm like, nope, take me back, take me back. So that's the closest I've been with astral projection. So I'm not sure about manifesting money uh, within that. But what I will say, Kyle, what is another beautiful way of manifestation, right? For me, I see this money is energy, right? But money is also a third party. Instead of manifesting, focusing so much on that, right? I'm not saying don't focus on it. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but shifting your focus to what is it exactly you'd like to manifest, right? Because what it is we'd like to manifest can come to us through different channels. It can come to us through people. It can come to us through just certain skill sets and learning. Money is one of the ways that we can manifest something, but it's not the only way. And within this society, it's very, built on the money system. Once again, money is energy, just like anything. So I would say, within that, like consider within setting your intentions for the new year or a new cycle, a new moon cycle, whatever it might be, consider like what it would look like to not only seek out money as a channel, but other means, right? Make creating community, just other means and expanding your awareness to that. It'll make you feel a lot more at ease in this moment. Make you feel a lot safer in this moment. Crazy skill sets. My fiance wakes up to your voice and you bring me peace and happiness. And I'm aware of that. I just want to say thank you and keep up the good work. Crazy skill set. Thank you so much. I receive. I appreciate that. Much love to you. Much love to your fiance. Corey Blackwood, last question. Why do we believe in the self if the self didn't create the self? You know what's so funny? Like, this is how I see it. Like, we came into this, it's funny. It's like our spirit came into this world, or soul, or however any of you want to say it, but it came into this world so that we forget who we are, so we can remember who we are. And so it's like a whole part of the awakening process. It's like we wanted to do this. We wanted to do this. Um, One second, y'all. I'm gonna need a little moderator in the house. All right. Yeah, why we believe in is the self didn't create the self? Good question. Good question. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just accepting of this moment that it happens, and that we are all awakening. That's why we're all here, and we're recognizing that we are not just the self. But let me tell you, like, a big part of this experience is like, y'all, when we awaken and we know we're more than this, we begin to flow, and the fulfillment in this world, we feel it every day. We're manifesting our state of consciousness, right? We're so high vibrational that we're at peace. We begin to heal others with our presence. And that is the beauty of recognizing that we are more than the self. It doesn't mean that we must dismiss this individual aspect of us, right? We are just a piece of consciousness, experiencing a very unique way of the world, right? Each of you on this live stream are a piece of consciousness experiencing consciousness itself in another way. Consciousness wanted to do this. And so it's like the more and more you become in agreement of this moment, you step into the present moment, you awaken, and you begin to step into a space of fulfillment, of inner peace, of stillness, experiencing the joy of being. The list goes on, right? We're being here right now, here now live stream. Dina, Alana, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy. Sean, the Shadow Work Guide Journal. Okay, that actually sounds really cool, Sean. Honestly, I might check it out. I will check it out. Is a tool of growth being guys first step. Yeah, that's like the when we talk about being in observation of thoughts and emotions, and becoming aware of unconscious patterns, like, it's something to note that many times, to release this idea that shadow work will stop, right? Or reduce it, doesn't mean that, we're going to live a life where we're constantly going to be suffering. I'm not saying that, but just saying, like, releasing this idea that, you know, um, when we reach a certain place, we no longer have to maintain it. It's like this idea of, like, being enlightened. Once you reach enlightenment, you'll never have any more problems. Like, that is all created. It's all created from the mind. Everything every day is a stepping into the state of awareness, becoming aware of shadow. And honestly, the shadow work will end up being a lot of just observation. How often can we be in observation and non-reactivity towards thoughts and emotions? How often can we just allow them to arise and allow them to be there so we could see it fully and notice that that emotion, it can't hurt us, that thought, it can't hurt us, and even in that moment, if it does, feel it, accept that it's there, right? No resistance. And the more and more we do that, right, that is a lot of shadow work right there. Like, even within observation, we're doing shadow work. Good recommendation, Sean. I'm going to check out that book. Ronan Butchanan, do y'all ever get ringing in your ears? Yes. Quite often. It's interesting because I don't know the exact, like, because there's different types of ringing. There's, like, a loud, there's a softer one, there's a longer one, there's a shorter one. And each of all of that ringing, they have specific meanings. I know I was online and I actually found something. Let me see so I could share something with y'all. Let's see if I could find it so I could share the ear ringing thing. Does anyone here ever get ringing in their ears? Is it here? Yeah. Nope, that's not that. Here it is. Got it a while ago. If one's in the left ear versus the right ear, like, if you have a high pitch in the left ear, high pitched ringing in your left ear is often a sign that you are in a growth period. This means you are stepping into higher vibration and your energy is recalibrating to get into new alignment. This realignment often causes high pitched ringing. So that's in the left ear. In the right ear, high pitched ringing is a sign of spiritual being coming in the energy is a sign of a spiritual being coming on the energy of your crown chakra or spiritual center. These are usually beings that are connected to source, such as angels and highly evolved beings of light. Yeah, different ones. But yeah, that is a sign of spiritual awakening. I'm going to write down a list of all the signs of spiritual awakening, and that can be a theme for another Here Now live stream. And we can all talk about our experiences, like becoming sensitive, more and more sensitive, because the ego is dissolving. Therefore, we're going to be more sensitive towards all that is around us, because the idea of separation becomes more and more. We recognize how not true it is, so we begin to be sensitive. Ear ringing, shedding, right? Shedding relationships, friends, families, things like that. I'll write down a list and we'll have a great discussion on that. Have you ever lucid dreamed Kyle pushing them? Have you ever lucid dreamed and been aware? And if so, what was that experience like? So I have actually, and it was for a short amount of time, because when I woke up in the dream, I got a little too excited. And funny thing is that right now I'm actively doing work to activate that within dreaming, because we dream every night regardless of what we know. We're in the astral realm when we're dreaming. It's another dimension that is just as real as this. And when we're sleeping, we're always in that dimension. We're just becoming aware, more and more aware of that dimension of reality. And specifically, what happened was I was in my old apartment, and the dream was literally me waking up in my exact room in the apartment I was in, and I saw my cat there. And then I ended up seeing a dog, which was my friend's dog that I hadn't spoke to in a while. But my friend's dog was there. And at first it was normal. And I'm like, Queen, that's my cat's name. And then I look at Nala, which is my friend's name. I'm like, Nala, I'm like, what are you doing here? And then I was like, I'm dreaming. And then right after that, I woke up. I actually lucid dreamed twice, and I woke up because I got excited. I was lucid dreaming. Um, so yeah, that's what that experience is like. If any of you all are interested in lucid dreaming, I have a couple tips on that. Throughout the day, you can even write in your in your phone, having like an alarm. But throughout the day, um, have an alarm set and then ask yourself, am I aware? And so the more and more you do that, ask yourself, am I aware? And look around. Like truly become aware of wherever you are. It doesn't matter. All right. Once you look around and truly, hi, Queen. As you look around and as you're looking around, okay, truly feel it. Acknowledge, like, whoa, okay, this is not exactly like a dream. All right. We're in a dream world. Yeah, yeah. But you guys know what I mean, right? We're not in the astral realm. And what you can do is count your fingers. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then touch your fingers. Because in a dream, your fingers are going to go straight through your hand. And what this is doing, the more often you do it, it gets into your subconscious. It becomes very normal. And often what we dream about, right, our dreams um, are what arises within our subconscious. So if we are constantly asking ourselves, like, am I aware, looking around, counting our fingers, like that's what happens when we wake up in a dream and we lucid dream. So yeah, try that out. Ronan, Butchanin, have you heard of the book called Three Waves of Volunteers and the New Earth by Dolores Cannon? I know Dolores Cannon, love her. But you know what's funny is that I have not read her books. I've seen like short clips of her speaking, and I know she talks a lot about that we're co creators, we're here to manipulate energy. And that's essentially, we are definitely here to manipulate energy. And I know a lot of her research is done with her clients and them having supernatural experiences. Let's see. The three volunteers, I haven't read that. So the three waves of volunteers. Three. I have so many book recommendations. And The New Earth. Okay, it's the same book by Dolores Cannon. It reveals the concepts that have been in play with another great read. All right, yeah, she does hypnosis work and has discovered three waves of volunteers. Some have come direct from the source and have never lived in any type of physical body before. Others have lived as space beings on other planets or other dimensions. Because all memory is erased upon entry to the Earth dimension, they do not remember that their assignment. They do not remember their assignment. Thus, these beautiful souls have a difficult time adjusting to our chaotic world. These souls have a vital role to play as they help all of the rest of us ascend to the new earth. Whoa! That's literally what we're all doing here right now. We are all doing that here right now. So that sounds like another book, a great book that I'll have to check into. I really do enjoy Dolores Cannon, so I will check her out. Kyle, push. What is your channel about? Because I'm a new subscriber here. First of all, welcome, Kyle, to your now live stream once again. A lot of what I share on this channel has to do with stepping out of our mind and into the present moment, and I expand on that. I also do coaching, one-to-one coaching, and much of that is speaking about feelings of anxiety and in the mind and all of our thoughts and overthinking. And much of what I share has to do with being in observation of the mind, our thoughts, and our emotions, so we can live a more present lifestyle, a more present life, so we can feel more fulfilled. So in a nutshell, if you think of this channel, Morsi Anderson, all right, think about the present moment, think about being here right now, and 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 what it means to go beyond thought, going beyond the mind, so that we use thoughts to our advantage and thoughts don't use us. That's kind of a basis of what I share, and I share a lot more too. Yes. Also, everyone, I wanted to share this with you, and I'm going to light this right now. I'm an affiliate partner with Natural Incense, so I use these incense quite often. And what they are, they're plant-based incense, and so um, a lot of incense I didn't know has like chemicals in it, and I noticed the difference between this one and the other incenses that I had been using. It's a lot stronger, the other one. This one, right? You're not coughing that much. You don't really cough or sneeze, because I know I tend to cough and sneeze with certain incense. And so these right here, this one is like the box of, I think, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. They have 12 and they have citronella. I have not tried the citronella yet. I'm waiting for them to send it. But I will share with you my thoughts on this, is that it is, it's, I like it so much better. Ronan, what does incense actually do? So for one second. All right. All right. Incense. I like to use incense when I'm in ceremony. So anytime there's ceremony, I like to use incense. And a lot of times, many say that incense tends to banish away like any evil energies or bad energies or things like that. So incense, even sage, sage is a protector. This is sage with like dragon's blood. Palo Santo, another thing when you're burning things. Palo Santo, it brings in positive. This is a very tiny piece, but positive vibrations, positive vibes. It welcomes them in, and so that's what it does. And so I would highly recommend this. I'm affiliate partner with them. I don't usually do a lot of affiliate partnering, but I do like them. So the link for this, if you're interested, is in the description. So I recommend this. I take this with me even when I'm out in nature and I just want, I'm also someone who loves anything that smells good. And so, like, whether it be a candle or Palo Santo smells great to me, sage smells great, incense smells great. So I do like those smells. And for me, like I said, it creates a great environment for ceremony. When it comes to ceremony, you can do a ceremony for anything. A ceremony is bringing awareness to an event or experience or maybe an idea. You can have a ceremony, right? You can have a full moon ceremony or a new moon ceremony to truly give awareness to the intentions you are setting for the next cycle. The more awareness you give to anything, the more life you give it. The more and more life you give it. And so this is why, being in ceremony. This is like the same thing as when we're graduating. That's a ceremony. Award shows, they're ceremonies. It could be a celebration. It can be acknowledgement, whatever it might be. And I invite you all to do that for yourselves so that you are not overlooking all of what you have achieved. Often in this society, at least I would say I live in the States. I can't speak for other countries, but I know within the States, it's a very go, go, go society. And often we're not truly celebrating those, just celebrating moments to moments or being fully in the moment. It's always like, I've reached here, now I'm on to the next one to achieve and to achieve and to achieve. And by doing ceremonies, you're pulling yourself into the present moment, being here and acknowledging where you are, giving yourself credit. Give yourself credit. You have come so far. And the fact that you're even here on Here Now live stream, you're here and you're digesting this, you're taking in this high vibrational messages, right? That is awakening your own spirit, the essence of your own being. You being here is already, in a way, this is a ceremony. Acknowledging that, that's how I see it. So incense is something that I use often for that. And I like torches. We're going to light a little incense. I'm going to state gratitude for being here with you all, being here for Here Now live stream number 4, Here Now live stream number 4. And just for each and every one of you, all of your questions, all your positive energy, I'm so grateful for it. So I give awareness to that. Kyle Pusham, much love, much love. Crazy skill sets. Also, Ronan Butchinen. I'm gonna look up too a little bit more of what infants do, but that's kind of the basis of what I know and what I know it does for me, and it really creates that environment for me personally. Crazy skill sets. I started to drink loose leaf tea before meditation. Ooh, yeah. It's nice too with loose leaf tea. It's like you're, I guess it's more of knowing that you are drinking not things that are filler. Because I know some teas they might put filler stuff, or let's say you wanted a certain tea, like a rose tea or a green tea, and maybe the leaves in there aren't as like prevalent. There's not a lot of them on there, so that is pretty good. How do you like that? Drinking loose leaf tea before meditation. Let me know. Sometimes it's nice just to sit in stillness for a bit. I'm doing a lot of talking. It's nice to sit and be here. I also hear my cat. Give me 1 second. Come on, baby. Wherever you are and whatever you do, Remind yourself to sit in stillness for a little bit. Recognize the space, the gap of space between words, between thoughts, those subtle pauses. Because within that space, that's where words come up. So if you begin to recognize the space in which words arise, you begin to bring more awareness to your essence. So that's why it's nice to speak slowly, take breaks. Someone asks you a question, you don't need to answer right away. Pause for a second. Be with that question. Be with the vibration of that question. Every question, every thought has a vibration. Be with it. And this also allows us to transcend reactivity. Transcend meaning go beyond. Go beyond. Because we are far more than our thoughts. I believe it makes me feel more calm and brings more awareness to myself while meditating. Very nice. Yes. I'd like to, with everyone who's here, I did this in the beginning, I'd like to do this again. We're going to do a body scan, and then we're going to do some breath work. Something I do with all of my one-to-one clients. I'm doing here. Whenever I start group coaching, I'm going to do that too. This is something you should invite into your daily routine. Essentially, when you're scanning your body, you are removing awareness from the confines of the mind and all of its activity, and you're moving awareness into your body in a more grounded space. All right? And you're grounding yourself more into the present moment. So let's do that really quick. Or I don't say really quick. Let's do that and be here now. And let me know how you all enjoy it. All right. This is stillness. We're inviting stillness into our life. So wherever you are, you might be in your room, you might be at home, you might be somewhere else, wherever you are, if you can. Get in a comfortable position. Notice if there's any tension within your body. Scan your body. Start from your toes to your heels, to your knees, to your thighs, your hips, to your chest, your shoulders, to your elbows, your palms, to your fingers. Scan your neck, to your jaw, third eye, crown. Notice any tension and release. Take a deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Return when you're ready. Let me know how that exercise made you feel. Let me know if it's something you'd like to invite more and more to your day-to-day life. Fasting is great as well. Ronan, yeah. I actually I intermittent fast, but it doesn't happen like I don't make myself do it. It's more of a like you eat when you're hungry, right? You eat when you're hungry, you sleep when you're tired, type thing. And it happens naturally. It's you know, hey, I say with fasting, you listen to yourself, you listen to your intuition, to your body. If you need a doctor, but fasting is if when I talk about ceremony too, having ceremony, fasting, and meditation, bringing awareness to your body. You're not just fasting to do it, but there's always a deeper intention. So that's another great way to deepen your relationship with yourself and with your body. If you all enjoyed this live stream and you feel called to donate and support this channel, please do. I have my PayPal link down in the description. If you are interested in the natural choice, I'm affiliate partner. So when you purchase, you're supporting me too. Check this out. When I get the citronella, I will let you all know how I like it. So far, these 12 are pretty fire. I like them. Use them all the time. Once again, thank you all for being here. Thank yourself for being here and attending Here Now live stream. I will see y'all again Thursday, all right? And also, you'll see this full live. I'm going to put it on my channel. And then, after a while, these lives, the full recordings will be put on my Patreon. But as of right now, you all will receive the full video lives on my YouTube channel. So check that out. I'll have them up sometime this week. And then I will see you all again Thursday. I'm sending you all peace. I'm sending you love. And I'm sending you clarity. Crazy skill set. Please be blessed. May the sun shine on your happiness. Same to you. Thanks so much. Sean, peace. Thank you for being here. Peace and love. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for your positive vibes. I will see you Thursday.